For me, at least, I don't think setting your goals for perfection is necessarily the best way to go about and set goals. Like, if I could go back in time and sit down with the younger version of me and only have like one thing to talk about, this would be it. In my young, developing, fragile mind, I made this false connection that in order for me to get acceptance and love, I needed to be perfect. And the reason why I wasn't getting any of that at that time was because I wasn't perfect. I wasn't good enough. And if I could be more than what I currently was, then maybe I wouldn't be picked on so much. Maybe I would be able to get the friends that I wanted, and maybe I could start having fun with my life. And that carried on with everything that I've done, from nuclear construction in North Carolina to college out in Idaho to doing sales out in California. I always had this underlying belief that in order for me to gain acceptance and love, I needed to be perfect. And so that became this driving force in my life. Don't say everything you do is not good enough until you reach perfection, because perfection is not achievable. And I don't know anyone in the world who would say perfection is achievable. Like, I don't know anyone who would say that they're the perfect father or the perfect entrepreneur or the perfect mother or the perfect employee or the perfect whatever. I don't know anyone who would claim that they are the perfect at what they do. So I bring all this up not to say that we shouldn't literally shoot to be the best in the world, and we shouldn't try and strive for perfection. If you don't take the chance to try and make it happen, it never will. But you should never beat yourself up for not reaching those goals, especially on the first try. You should always, no matter how small the success or accomplishment is, give yourself credit for whatever achievement you make in the process of trying to attain whatever goal that you set. It's your responsibility to be your best advocate, to give yourself the encouragement to go do amazing things in the world. And that's not possible if you're spending most of that time beating yourself up because you're not reaching these astronomically high goals first try. If I could have told that to myself, or someone could have told that to me in that way, to the 18-year-old me or the 16-year-old me, then I would have, my life would be a lot better. And I'm not complaining about where my life is at right now, but there is an improvement that could have been made had that piece of information been given to me in a way that resonated. And so that's my goal for this first episode, is to be able to present that information in a way that hopefully it makes sense to whoever's listening and connects in a way that maybe it hasn't connected in the past or won't connect in the future. Hey, what's up, Christian and the Alphalete team? My name is Logan Petrie. I'm 23 years old, and I just moved down to Dallas from Wisconsin. To keep this as short as possible, a little bit about my personality. I don't know if you're familiar with love languages or anything like that, but my love language is quality time. So I would prefer to spend time with like a small group of friends, having really great conversations, maybe going out and doing some fun things, making great memories, as opposed to going out and partying. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm not as fit as I once was, but I'm sure that'll change if I get on with the team at Alphalete. And I love creating things, and that the clothes that you saw in that video were clothes that I made back in high school for a company that I created called Outlandish, and the slogan for that company was to empower yourself. And that whole thing, from the very first sweatshirt design, was inspired off of Christian, your very first CG Fitness hoodies with the CG Fitness on the sleeve, and it went great. There's a lot of pushback from the start, and that kind of mentality of trying to be the best version of yourself and go out and do amazing things in the world was really shunned upon in this small town that I grew up in. But after I kind of got past that first hurdle, it started to take off, and it was around that time that my parents got divorced, and my dad told me that I should put that on hold and go do like real adult man things, and that's when I went off to North Carolina, and that's where the journey kind of started in the video that you saw where I moved all around the country. But I feel like if I could go back in time and change it, even knowing what I know now about how powerful social media is, and how ready the market was for that kind of content and positivity back then, if I could go back and change it and not have the experiences that I've had since then, I wouldn't. I've learned so much about myself, about other people, about life. I've had to go through so many different, just really challenging times, and I made it through. And I feel like I have so much that I can add to the table now with those experiences with Alphalete, that I know I'm more than just someone who can operate a camera and make some really cool videos. And I know that being in an environment where everyone is focused on changing the world, literally, and everyone is focused on trying to be the best version of themselves, and everyone is focused on possibility, like that's who I am. That's who I've always been. And I've never had a friend who could stand by me and I could stand by them, and we could work on something together. Even if it wasn't the same thing, I never had someone that I could move in that direction with. And there's pros and cons to that, but I feel like now is a better time than it's ever been. I feel like I'm a better person than I've ever been to be able to, in this example, get on with Alphalete and just be a crazy great asset to you, Christian, and to everyone involved. And there's nothing that I would want more than that. So forgive me if this video seems kind of down. I haven't slept in like 30 hours, but I saw the Instagram post or the Instagram story, and I knew I had to get something out. So yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, Christian, and everyone else who's watching this, and I really hope to be able to connect with you guys really shortly. So yeah, we'll see where it goes.